Marcus, you have your microphone muted.
Yes, that's intentional for now.
Now
Okay.
we can review
Okay.
Inworld, or
But thank
Inworld
you.
we can review, or something. The Inworld.
Well, hello, hello, fans and friends of OpenSim. I apologize. I don't hear the introduction music this week, so I guess there's always something strange happening.
no,
But
okay,
welcome,
alright.
please, welcome to this another edition, another crazy edition of World Review. And I'm sitting here with some wonderful friends. Once again, I'm delighted to be here in the big chair today. And next to me is our friend James Atlard. How are you doing today, James?
I'm doing pretty good, Thirza. So many buttons, so many buttons everywhere. But I'm thrilled to be here. This is a blast. So I'm looking forward to a good conversation.
That's great. And next to him is Petlove Pet Shop. How are you, Pet?
Hi, I'm fine. Thank you.
Great to see you here. We know we're going to be hearing a lot more from you later on. And of course, the lovely Tosha Tyran. How are you today, Tosha?
I'm fine, thank you. It's great to be here.
And not only these regular guests, regular presenters rather, on the show, but we also have two wonderful guests with us this week. We have Marcus Llewelyn. Hello, Marcus. How are you getting along today?
Hello, I'm doing very well. Thanks for having me.
We're really glad to have you with us. And finally, but last but certainly not least, in that wonderful Japanese avatar, we have Sun Tzu. Welcome, Sun.
Hey, thank you, and thanks for having us on today.
Really glad to have you here. It's going to be a fascinating show with lots of news and views from virtual worlds. And of course, the interview with Marcus and Sun will be coming up in a minute. And that's where we'll be learning a lot more about what's going to be happening on the OpenSim Community Conference. That's in just a few minutes. But before that, if you're familiar with the show, you've already guessed that it's our regular appointment with Hypergrid Happenings. Woohoo! I heard that. Yeah. See, the show is getting back to its old working relationship with microphones and earpieces. So this is the first event I'd like to talk to you about. It's happening on Tuesday. It's a one-off event. It's a big end-of-the-year party to celebrate the activities of something called the Virtual Worlds Education Consortium, VWEC. Many of you will have heard it. It started a couple of years ago in Second Life, and the idea is that it helps educators find resources, get together, find new ways of showing how to how the students can improve their interaction with the teachers and so forth like that, and also how to use different grids. There's an ambassador on Kitely Grid. It's been Cooper Swizzle until just recently. He's the outgoing ambassador, and the new one will be Zenon Darrow. And so there's a party over on Wolf Territories Grid. It's going to be on Tuesday, and it starts at 11 a.m. Second Life time, which is ideal for Europeans. So go along to that if you get the chance to meet Zenon and talk about education. Another thing that's happening on Tuesday, it happens every week, and this is really fun. It's a party on a region that is that is called Peaceful Landing. The actual performance area is called Just Another Rock in the Park, as a kind of play on the Pink Floyd song. And it's Rich Talbot's place. He does DJing for a couple of hours from 9 till 11 grid time. And then Cherise Singer performs for an hour from 11 to 12 grid time, or Second Life time if you prefer. This is a really fun region, so check it out if you get the chance. The next thing I wanted to talk to you about is happening on Thursday, pretty much every Thursday at 1 p.m. It's over on Trianon Grid. And this is a very elegant event that happens each time. It's DJ Essential. She organizes it. You get to dress up in your very best clothes, so ideal for James because he's always dressed as if he's just about to go out on the town in his top hat and tails. But it's a great excuse for the ladies to get out all those beautiful evening dresses, and the gentlemen too, if they wish to wear a beautiful evening dress, backless possibly. Why not? Hey, this is OpenSim. And finally, I just have to mention Saturday and Sunday, both days are very special on AMV, that's Alternate Metaverse Grid, because Clan Iskosha sings. He's a fantastic singer, Scottish, and he comes up with all kinds of different ways to entertain. The beautiful sim, which is built by Webby, she has set up lots and lots of different venues where you can be on a Hawaiian beach 1 minute, in a Mexican cantina the next, or in a beautiful French romantic venue the next week, or a bikers club the week after that. There's all these wonderful venues, and you could dress up appropriately. They're actually working on some original songs, which is going to be fun. So that's the roundup of the 4 things I wanted to talk to you about. And I just want to go back to the first one again, which is Zenon. Do you guys all know Zenon Darrow and the work she does with education?
I do, yeah. She's been around. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's
great.
incredibly enthusiastic about this coming year. She's got all kinds of plans about how she wants to bring more education. And of course, this event, she's called the Kitely Ambassador, but actually she's mostly located in Wolf Territories Grid, which actually shows how grid fluid we are in OpenSim, because you can be on one grid but doing something on another without any problems. And next up, these wonderful shops that surround the build on Peaceful Landing, where each one has got well, Rich explained it like this. He said, if you were a pop star or a rock star and you decided to give up music, what kind of store would you make based on the name of your band? So if you were AC/DC, what kind of store would you have? It'd have to be an electrical supply store. And the same with Kiss, they have a makeup store. And Freebird, they have a travel agency. So the stores are very simple. They only have a couple of items inside each one, not a lot of stuff, but it's really fun. What do you think of that, Tosha?
That's really hilarious. I really love the idea.
Yeah, and it's a fun thing to look at as you're dancing and listening to the great music on the sim. Of course, the final one there, this is really my favorite, because Clan and Webby have been writing songs that are about OpenSim and about their life, the metaverse life. They've already presented 3 of them. They're hoping to have a whole hour of brand new songs for a set on New Year's. And you can't... They're not taping them. They're not putting them on YouTube separately. You have to actually go to one of Clan's performances to hear these songs. So it's a really good excuse to get over there.
Cool.
And I think that's what I'll be doing in the next few weeks as we get closer to New Year's. So really, that's everything. That's everything for Hypergrid happenings. And so I'd like to pass the word over to James. I guess we're going to miss the music. I know you love that chair dancing.
It can be on the short. Is that okay?
Why not? But
right.
And let me give the word over to James to introduce our wonderful guests.
All right. Well, thank you, Thirza. Thanks so much. And I'm really happy again to welcome Marcus and Sun Tzu to talk about Open Simulator Community Conference, or OSCC, as since we are a culture that loves its acronyms. And I want to say, okay, so Marcus and Sun are both from Avacon, which is the Avacon being like avatars and conference. It's really an organization that works on community building in the Open Simulator world. And in full disclosure, I'm also a member of Avicon, so I know both Marcus and Sun really well. And I just have to mention, when I first volunteered and started helping with Avicon, I thought, all right, these are the guys that make OpenSim. Is that right?
That is a common misconception. Just like a lot of people think that OS Grid is also the same thing as Open Simulator when they're really not. They're separate organizations. No, Avicon is a 503c1c nonprofit that is really focused on community and bringing them together both in the real world and in virtual worlds in the metaverse as well.
Oh, thanks, Marcus. I think that helps a lot. And
Yeah, and it might be helpful also to know that they didn't start out with with Open Simulator. They did I believe the 2010 and 2011 Second Life community conferences.
Yeah.
Both live conferences.
Yep.
And it was there that people like Joyce Betancourt and Chris Took were. Chris Collins were volunteers, and once that conference kind of wound down, they're like, this can't stop. There's still people. There's so many people we need to get together and have them share their ideas and their builds and their tools and all that kind of thing. And I think Open Simulator was a natural place to go because not only was it a virtual platform that would be familiar to anybody from Second Life, but it's an open platform, which meant that there was an opportunity to get, people like developers involved and, to collaborate along with the larger community. So I think that was part of the driver for the conference as well.
Oh, very cool. Well, I guess we should get onto the conference. And do you have an elevator pitch to say, our son, you also, what is OSCC? What would you call it if you had to tell someone in a brief moment? Son, I'll direct that to you.
Okay. I guess I would basically say it's a way that the open sim community comes together to talk about things that are important to them. Things from education to ways that the platform is being used. I've learned many amazing things about how virtual worlds can be used by seeing open sim applications. I mean, there's places that have done things with open sim that they basically have a guided tour when you come to a hospital in Japan. I mean, there's all kinds of possibilities for the technology. And there's people that are using it, like the one that designed this avatar outfit that I'm wearing right now. She actually makes things for people's backyards, and she creates them inside of her open sim to show them before she builds it in real life. So it's just so many different possibilities, and seeing things like some of the presentations, like with a huge train, in the middle of the audience and things. I mean, it's just there are such amazing things that can be done with the technology, and sometimes a lot of the other platforms that are out there doing stuff with the metaverse right now, a lot of times they're kind of focused more on the money side, whereas OpenSim is more open source. So it's a different sense of creativity, I would say.
Okay.
And this is the platform for them to come to a conference and basically share with one another, learn from each other, and make connections.
Oh, awesome! Thank you very much. Yeah, and I should mention I'm not alone here today. Tosha is with me on the couch, and Tosha, you have a question for our panelists?
Yeah. How long has this OSCC been going on?
So it started in 2013. I think this last Second Life Community Convention was in 2011, and then they kind of organized Avicon at that point. And yes, so the first conference was in 2013, and it was a massive affair. They had multiple tracks, one for business, one for education, one for development, etc. It was a huge thing, and it was wonderful. We had, everybody came together, so many builders and volunteers. They created, they brought up the entire grid. They built everything on it. They, organized all of that. And it was just so incredibly impressive. And I know I came along And I believe the first year I was part of it was 2015. I came in as a volunteer, and I've been with it ever since. So it's been a fantastic ride, and it's still just as great as it's ever been.
That's pretty amazing. Do you know how? So coming from the Second Life Community Conference, which was partially live, I mean that was an in-person event, and who brought up the idea? You said it was Fleep Took, Chris Collins, and was Nebadon part of that?
I'm
believe they were
unsure.
at that time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And a lot of this also took off because we used to have a technology called Second Life Enterprise Edition, or SLE. And that was one that was used by a lot of government agencies. It was used by education a lot. And when they were using it, it was something that they were able to do on side of their private servers and things behind firewalls and such. But Second Life, Linden Lab decided to close that down because they wanted to reduce their cost and things. And when that happened, some of those organizations came together and they found ways to work things to be able to make an open source version. That's where OpenSim came from in part, because they needed to still use the technology even though it was being shut down. And that's when they were able to get it to go open source. And then once the convention moved over, then we just came in, and that community was already in place because they'd been doing all this stuff. And now we brought them together to share with each other the examples of what they've been working on.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you, Dave.
Sounds really amazing.
Yeah, go ahead, Tosha.
Yeah. Maybe you can give us an overview, Marcus, on the conference this year.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we have a ton of great presentations this year. As always, we always started off with a Rhiannon Chetnois, which is the avatar name for Joyce Betancourt. And she's really a powerhouse when it comes to organizing this conference. I can honestly say the conference would not be what it is today if it wasn't for Joyce. Mm-hmm. Her organizational skills are just phenomenal. But anyway, she does tend to start off the conference and introduce everybody and set the tone. And that's usually followed immediately by the OpenSim developers, past and present. We typically have 4 or 5 of them on stage, and we do it like a little short panel, where they can discuss, what's gone on in the past year and things like that, and what we can expect in the future. We're also going to be seeing presentations from people like AI Austin, a familiar name to many of us here in Open Simulator. I believe he's with the University of Edinburgh.
Yep, he was my first mentor.
Yeah, he's a fantastic guy and educator. And he'll be doing some a presentation on GLTF and Open Simulator. We have Gadul, who will be showing off a WordPress plugin for Open Simulator. Maria Korolov will be back this year. Most years she comes in and does a talk on statistics about Open Simulator, who's been using it, how have they been using it, where have they been using it. How many grids are there out there that she knows of, et cetera, things like that. And those are fantastic. If you love slides and you love statistics, you will love the State of the Hypergrid by Maria. And after that, we're going to have quite a few talks, several talks focused around art. We have Juliet Surreal Dreaming, who will be doing a talk on AI and how that intersects with art. And that'll be followed by, we will have Art Blue and his son both giving presentations about their work in the art world. We will be having, I realize we just don't have time for me to do the whole schedule, but we have lots of neat stuff like that.
I put a lower third to the schedule up on the screen, so.
Yeah, so it's like, so you can see we have, we're going to have, people, creating viewers, including not just the old Second Life viewer, but people who are trying to create new viewers that are not created by Linden Lab and make them compatible with Open Simulator. We have, several good panels from people like Lisa Laxton and Frank Ruloff. We also have something from the Open Metaverse Initiative. They'll be here to promote what they're doing and the metaverse and projects in the metaverse in general. And of course, we can't forget that there will be on Sunday on the conference, in the middle of the day, there will be a hypergrid safari tour.
What?
And of course, everybody should should want to be part of that.
That's always fun.
Yeah, it is.
Oh no, is there a safari? I didn't know about that. Oh shit.
Rats.
There is now.
Get busy.
No.
I know this is terrible, and it's like, who you ask someone what's your favorite child, but what do you think tends to be the most similar aspect of Open Simulator Community Conference?
The most similar to?
No, the most popular. I'm sorry, the most popular.
Oh, of the conference?
Yeah,
well, goodness. Well, we, besides the presentations themselves, which take place on the keynote regions, we also have our expo regions. We have 5 of them. And those are places where people can, show off their, whether it's artwork or neat builds. We have all kinds of NPCs. We've had giant dragons flying through there. We've had entire sections from cities in there. From years back in Citra, used to do city simulations. So they had a wonderful build in one of the expos. Yep. As well, every presentation over in the Expo 3 has a large corner of it is dedicated to each of the presentations. So if you wanted to, for example, if there was a presentation you thought was really neat and you wanted more information, Expo 3 is where you'd want to go to find out more.
The poster booths, right? Cool.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Kind of a traditional conference thing, having posters and go talk to the presenters.
What you saw. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And on top of that, we have Julietta has a art museum you can visit that's on the grid. Art Blue also has a art-related region where he usually does some kind of nifty interactive presentation there as well. We have the planetarium, which is a lovely build that came over courtesy of Virtual Village and Lear Lobo and Andrew Stricker. They did a wonderful job, and Delightful Doolittle was also a major powerhouse, who's no longer with us. But she was also part of that planetarium project, and that's also on our grid. On top of that, and I won't go too deep into it because that's really Sun Tzu's bailiwick, is we do have the music region where we have music events after the conference.
Okay. Yeah. Sun, you are, I heard, the music director for the conference. Can you tell us more about how you manage finding performers and scheduling? Because that, for me, is always a mystery, to find people that are good for a show.
Okay. Yeah, I've been working in virtual world since 2005. I've probably worked in over 100 different worlds, and it's brought me across many different performers. In SL, I had a lot of friends that perform both as DJs and also as musicians and singers. I also lived for many years in Goldswing, which is a large sailing community in Second Life, and that introduced me to a lot of different music acts as well. Plus, I worked for a couple years with SignSpace, which is a Unity-based virtual world, and that's how I met James Olmos, who's one of our performers here. I worked with him a good bit in there doing shows, and many other performers as well. So I've got a pretty good set of connections. What I do like to do is I always like to try to make sure that I get a chance to interview or listen to them, either watching one of their pre-recorded shows or going to a live event, because I want to make sure it's a good show before I put it into our lineup. So that's pretty much what I do. I am putting together a list, though, and I did get from Cat's Eye, she gave me some indications this year, as did a couple other folks from SL, some lists, and I'm going to try to put together a list of performers so that if anybody else needs to use it in the future, that might be accessible. But
cool.
some years it's a little trickier than others, especially if you get a last minute cancellation, because a lot of these folks, especially in SL, they are booked out like 2 months in advance at least, so you want to make sure that you get them good. I can show you the ones we have for this year if you want to put the slides up.
You bet.
I'll go ahead and share with you.
Oh, yeah, please do.
Oh, I am sharing, I think, right?
Yep, I
Yeah.
got it.
Okay. Okay, so for this year, we have 3 days of events. We actually start the day before the conference. And that on Friday, which is December 5th, that gives us a good chance to really go in and especially get sometimes some folks in Europe and other locations to make this more global instead of everything just being in the US base. So as you're seeing on our schedule there at 12 p.m. SLT on Friday, it will start off with Zori Jupiter. We had her last year, I believe, and it was pretty interesting mix that she gives. She does have a background in the music industry as well. I believe her brother, if I remember right, is a professional musician. Wallum Wabbit, I just ran across him this last year. He performed at, was it the memorial that he was at, James?
Oh yeah, for Mal, right?
Okay.
Yep.
So he'll be on. That's his first time joining us with the OSCC music portion, and then another first for us is DJ Rosie. I just heard her show the other day in Second Life, and I believe she does some performances in OpenSim as well. She used to do it with the group that we used to use for our final show. I'm trying to remember their name. It's been a little while, but she's from Australia, so she's got kind of a nice sound, and she likes to do different mixes. In fact, I think what she's focusing on this year is she's actually going to do an Australian musician mix. So you'll hear some of your favorite Aussies and maybe some you've never heard before. Then on Saturday, we have Witch Whisperer Sadovsky. She's got quite a seductive, sultry voice, kind of a dark diva. I'll show you a little bit more with her in a minute here. And then Acoustic Energy, I've known him for quite a while. He's really good. He's out of California, and he's got one of those voices that the women swoon over. Probably some of the guys too, but he's got quite a enchanting voice with the way he sings. It's very melodic, a lot of acoustic energy, as he calls himself. A lot of acoustics come across in the way he sings. And then our next one is totally different than everybody else. That's Tuna Oddfellow. If you haven't catched one of his experiences, and it is an experience, it's not just music. He does the thing with visuals. Inworld, it really makes use of the virtual environment, not only sound but visuals as well. And I tried to get a video of it, but he said you can't really nail it down with the video because everything changes from one show to the next. So it's a unique experience. If you miss it this year, if you get to see him next year, it probably won't be the same thing. So just a warning up front. And then the final one, we have DJ Stranik on Sunday. Stranik's been helping us a lot with these things that we call the after parties over at Tiki Beach on Pirates Atoll OpenSim. And this one is his Ethereal 9 Dream Pop Rave after party. So he's been DJing for us for a while. It's kind of late at night because we end up at like 6 p.m. SLT on Sunday rather, excuse me. And it gets to be kind of late, but for a number of us, especially the ones that organize the event, it's really a way for us to kind of unwind and talk to people while we sit there and listen to tunes and dance. So it's kind of an interesting way to just kind of chill out at the end of the conference. And let's see here.
That really sounds great. And you don't have to worry, I think, it being too American. I think it's rather international, and I really like that.
Yeah. So this is Zori. Like I said, she did her first time with us, I believe, last year. Very nice mix. She's got a beautiful voice. So she'll be starting us off on Friday on the 5th. And then this is Wallum Wabbit. He's from Germany. I haven't really actually heard his mix yet, so it's going to be interesting. But I heard from I heard from the folks that attended his stuff that he's really good. So I look forward to checking him out. He does blues rock, and he likes country, swing, and ballads. So he
Yes.
also
Yeah.
does some of his own original music as well.
And also he's rather jazzy. I really
Yeah.
like him.
Yeah.
He's the kind of performer you can listen to for a couple of hours and never get
Yes.
bored
Oh,
or
that's
wish
cool.
he'd change. Yeah, it's great.
Yes.
And this is DJ Rosie. I just met her and went to one of her shows to audition her last week. So she's from down under, but she had been in the London Sims, um, and she's been in SL since 2009, I think it was. But she likes to do things, everything from pop to 80s and 90s classic rock. Like I said, I think she's going to be doing the Australian artist in her set for us.
Cool.
Mhm.
And this is Witch Whisper Sadovsky. She's been with us a number of years now. I remember when we first got her, uh, we try to help out the musicians as much as we can. So like when I bring a musician over to do a show, I'll sit there and do the hand holding to help them get their avatar put together, make sure they have everything they need that they can do their performance. With her, it was kind of interesting because she has wings and things like that, and trying to find some of these things in OpenSim isn't as easy as it is like with the Second Life marketplace. So between me and Joyce, we were able to help her to get her avatar looking the way she likes. But she's got a really interesting style, and you'll hear that in a minute here. This is Acoustic Energy. Like I said, I've known James Almost is his real life name for quite a while. He's got a voice that people just they fall in love with. I mean, and he releases his songs too. He does have some that are original, which we'll hear one today as well, if there's time. But very soulful. Lets you connect with your inner self. And here's that odd guy, Tuna Oddfellow. So he does the virtual world shows where there's a lot of lights and imagery and music, and it's very very unique. He was doing them in SL, and he still does them in SL nowadays as well, and then also an Open Simulator for a while now. So, but he joined us at OSCC for the first time last year for a show.
He won the Avatar's Got Talent
Oh,
contest
that's
they
right.
had
Yeah,
on
he
some
did.
major
Yeah, he did.
channel years ago. Yeah, his particle shows were the first
And that
thing
was on
that
a
really
regular
blew my
TV
mind.
station too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was ABC or NBC in the
Yep.
States. One of those. Yeah.
And this is DJ Stranik's Z's after party.
Cool.
Oh, and I also wanted to mention this real quickly too. At about the same time we started to do music, which I can't remember the exact year, it was about maybe a decade back almost. About the same time that we started to do the music shows, we also started to do 3D art, where we have 3D artists that are bringing their stuff into the OSCC and in many cases donating them so that they can become part of a collection and also shareable with people. So a number of items have been donated and are placed throughout the regions for folks. And then also we're also seeing ones where there are builds, as you're seeing now too, where there are builds that are coming out that are all on the art focus as well. If it's okay, for me to show those two songs if there's time.
Yeah, clips of those. That'd be great.
Okay, yeah. So let me get to that. Okay, so this first one is an original piece from James Almost, who is Acoustic Energy. So we'll go ahead and play this.
Good sound.
That's a Simon and Garfunkel song. Sound of Silence.
I held my head up high as I felt the cost of this life. Wrestled with my soul, it made me whole. The judgment of that old song still moves its way through me. Stand upon the hope of love's melody. rush into my soul. I seek serenity, and I will build no walls. Let these burdens fall. The shadow of my past surrenders to the call. I will enter into the light again, coming back to find who I am. I'm defined by love. Seek the light, my love. Turn this heart of stone into sand. Surrender all. Surrender
That was Surrender All from James, almost otherwise known as
wonderful.
Acoustic Energy.
Hmm.
And I'm also going to share one here for you from Witch Whisper. Now, this one's just basically music. She has a video, but it's just kind of the image of her moving around. But this is an original song from her as well.
Hmm.
I went to see a psychic to get a glimpse of my fate. She read my cards and told me that love was on its way. Psychic readings, divination, energy, healing, love, and happiness. Searching for a sign to guide me through this mess. I light a candle, close my eyes, and feel the energy flow. The universe is speaking, and I'm ready to let go. Psychic readings, divination, energy, healing, love, and happiness. Open up my heart to all the possibilities. I trust in the unseen to lead me on my way. I believe in the power of love and light each day. Psychic readings, divination, energy, healing, love, and happiness. I'm embracing the unknown and letting my soul dance. I light a candle, close my eyes, and feel the energy flow. The universe is speaking, and I'm ready to let go. Psychic readings, divination, energy, healing, love, and happiness. I'm embracing the unknown and letting my soul dance. In this world of mystery, I find my peace and grace. The psychic readings, divination, love, and happiness in the sacred space.
And that's Witch Whisper, and as she's talking in her song's lyrics about divinations and psychic readings, it's because she does that as well in her real life side. So one of the interesting things in particular with Witch Whisper and also with Tuna is they like to use AI a lot in their music, where they go and they use it as kind of a sounding board to bounce ideas off of. But then they take things that they create with AI, and then they basically make it their own. They're not just taking something from another artist. They're actually creating brand new things from scratch and using things that they've done or using it to develop into their routine. So it's interesting to see. In fact, I talked to a number of the artists about AI, and there's quite a mix out there when it comes to it. But the consensus overall, I think, is that AI is here to stay. What kind of measures are going to be put on it to control things so that it isn't used for the wrong purposes. We'll probably we'll see that change over time, but it's one of these technologies that's a disruptor, and it's going to be there. So it's like, well, how do we either work with it or find ways to control the things that are being used for nefarious reasons?
Yeah, I hear it
So-
everywhere.
Let me make a little remark. You said before that so many ladies swoon over the voice of Tuna. Well, I just did.
Oh, actually, I was talking acoustic, but I guess some do for Tuna as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really fantastic. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Marcus, did you bring along a video that you were able to share with us?
I did. I have a little promotional video that we'll be putting on social media. You'll find it in all your favorite social media feeds.
Okay.
And yeah, it's just to let people know that the conference is happening and how to volunteer.
That's fun. Love it.
Yeah, and then if I can, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep that. Oops, don't play. Don't play. I want to pause it so I can show everybody those links at the end.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's really important. So if we haven't answered any of your questions here, please do go to conference.opensimulator.org. We have a wonderful website that has all the information on the conference, including the schedule, including the, we have events that take place outside of our schedule as well, community events. So if you have a party or you have an interactive build that you'd love, to have people come over and see and experience or tour, by all means, sign up on our website for a community event at conference.opensimulator.org. In addition, I'd like to emphasize that the Open Simulator Community Conference is completely driven by volunteers. Like both Dave and I were saying earlier, we are all about community and bringing people together. So if you have, skills that you think could be useful for the conference, by all means, come over and volunteer. We particularly need people who can simply greet people as they come into the grid or enter our keynotes so they know, where to sit down and things like that, or if they need any help. Moderators, people who help moderate each presentation. Those are also very much in demand. So if you would like to volunteer for that, please do at the link here on my slide. In addition, if you just want to attend, you can just register for the conference, but you can also hypergrid in as well. So that's another possibility. I feel like I was going to say more, but I think that's pretty much it.
Okay. All right. Well, let me turn to the rest of our show producers here. And do you have any questions that we haven't asked?
I just want to give you some kudos. You have been a rock, Marcus, and you too, James and Son. I know you're on your way. You've been doing it a couple of years now, but it really is a tremendous undertaking, and it's always done so beautifully. I've always been impressed by OSCC. So everybody should go, even if they have nothing to do with education or anything that connects real life to virtual lives. They need to have their eyes opened because it's one of the waves of the future.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and it's
agree, and
become a
thank
real
you so much.
institution, hasn't it? It's
It-
so
it's
much part of OpenSim now. Everybody knows Is this so? This is the 13th year or the 14th year that you've been doing it?
I believe it's a 13th year, and I would
Wow.
also like to say, to touch a little bit on what Petlove was saying is, you know, if anybody's hesitant to volunteer, it can be a little bit scary, right? It's like, oh my God, am I going to have all the time and that kind of stuff? And we can work around your schedules and stuff like that. It's not like you have to sit there all day, every day, and volunteer. You can pick
right,
times and come in for that.
right.
And I know that for
It's
me,
wonderful.
I never intended to volunteer for the conference. I didn't think I was volunteer material. I really
And yet here you
didn't.
still are.
And here I am. One year, Nebadon came to me and he's like, we could really use your help. We really need volunteers. And I had never live streamed anything in my life. And that's part of what I do is
Really?
I
Wow.
help, I live stream the conference to YouTube now.
Teaching is dreams.
But then if you would ask me in 2012, would you be doing this? I would have thought, nope.
I thought you were an industry professional when I met you.
Oh, thank you so
Totally,
much.
totally.
I did.
That means a lot.
That was
No,
what,
I
2007
went
or
from
something?
0 to, and I had like 2 days. It was like 2 days before the conference, and Deb was like, "Help," and I'm like,
Well,
"Okay, I'll do my best."
That's a wonderful tribute to the work you've been doing and the opportunities, of course, that OpenSim offers people in so many different fields that
Yeah.
perhaps we never thought we'd get involved in. And here we are, we have the opportunity to experience a whole new life and a whole new set of skills and talents that we can develop. And I really appreciate you guys. And what a wonderful interview from James and Tosha to both Son and to Marcus. And with that, we're going to move on to the next part of our show, which is with Petlove, Pet Shop, who's sitting right here, and it's called Virtual News and Views.
Thank you. Hello. Oops. It got me. It got me. Okay. I dodged it during every rehearsal. Hello and welcome to Virtual News and Views. My name is Petlove, and my job here is to squeeze news and views with an eye towards the creativity, innovation, and technical ability found all over the hypergrid into about 10 minutes every other week or so. So think headline news. Today, I have news about Luna Lunaria, who's a digital artist, a content creator, and a PBR tutorialista, which I'll explain later. Royale, who has founded and owns the Mobius Grid, and Karima Hoyzan and her friend Dale Innes, who create a lot of virtual world content. They make the most beautiful machinimas. They're artists, musicians, and poets. So let's get started. Luna has been working lately very, very hard with PBR for OpenSim. PBR stands for physically based rendering, and it's a method of rendering that simulates how light interacts with surfaces to create more realistic looking objects, which I always wondered what PBR stood for. So there it is. And for those of you who have seen PBR in action, it really is a boon. It makes everything so much even more beautiful than things already are in virtual worlds.
Yep.
So that's really interesting. Her tutorials are available. I'll tell you where in a second. But like this pyramid's a good example. The sunlight is hitting it, the shiny marble on the ground is shiny because of PBR. In older viewers, the only way they could make anything look like that, they had a whole layer built under the surface that looked like it was showing through a transparent surface above it. You know, they had 2 layers. Now you can
That's
do it
true.
all.
Some people had they had
Yeah, I remember
furniture
that.
underneath, didn't they? They had
It-
double the
Right, right.
furniture, so it would look
Yeah.
like a reflection.
Yeah.
It's exactly the way to do it, and even that was mind blowing. It was clever, you know.
Hmm.
But now we can do it this way, and it's just so much better. It adds a lot to everything. It's wonderful. So she's deeply into tutorials and sharing them with people, and that's why I called her a tutorialista. So this is her a shot of her Discord server, and if you go and you're welcome to join her server, and you go and you look at the tutorials, and you can teach yourself anything you want to know about PBR.
That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she's really great. And here's the last shot of one of her more beautiful pieces. Okay, so the next slide, we start with Mobius Grid. Do y'all remember Sonic the Hedgehog and the
Yeah, I
games,
do.
the
I
video
do.
games?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Sure.
totally.
I used to catch students playing Sonic the Hedgehog games inside their desks in like 5th grade, hiding under that lid that flips up when the old
Mm-hmm.
desk.
Mm-hmm.
So those are my fond memories. But um, Roy, his name is Roy Allen. I believe he goes by Roy sometimes. He has created a sim that is loaded for Bear, and all the Sonic games are there. They're available to you. He's really taken it straight to the top. There's a lot of love for Sonic, and it shows in this particular setting. He also still has the plane races, and they're even more epic. I would bet money that the code on Mobius will always be state of the art because he's got a tremendous team of developers.
Yes.
They work hard on making the viewer tight and functional. So they're amazing. And last but not least, we have Karima Hoysen and Dale Innes, who do create terrific machinimas. They write original music scores. They build amazing sets. The narration and the music together are hypnotic. Not one of her films hasn't just like put me in a different time zone for a few minutes. It's incredible. So I'm going to play part of the video for you. There's a chance we'll run out of time. And if we do, I'll show you the URL. In fact, I'll give it to you right now.
Okay. There you go.
Okay, so here comes the movie. Enjoy. Well, it looks like we are running out of time. So I'm going to stop the movie and I'm going to find the URL. And James, is the URL going to show on the screen anywhere?
Yes, I put it on screen and it's actually up right now. So.
Oh, good. Okay. So
That's so beautiful. Wow.
It really is. I really wanted to show the whole movie, but I didn't want to tap into the whole end of the show either. So
right.
Needless to say, Mel was one of the greatest admirer of the work of Karima Hoysan.
Is that right? Mm-hmm. Well, he was right, because it's gorgeous work. It really is.
Yes.
And we encourage everybody to go over there and like and subscribe to her channel. And while you're there, hey, if you're in YouTube, why not like and subscribe to this channel too? We appreciate it.
Yes. I forget
That's a great idea. I'll do that.
Very true.
Okay. Well, thank you. And that is the end of what I have to say. So.
Yeah. And there we go with the wonderful jazzy music there for virtual news and views. And thank you all for being with us once more on Inworld Review. We all miss Mal very much, but we're all really happy to be continuing with this program. And so as this week's chair, you'll see every time we'll try and have somebody different in this chair between the four of us presenters. I'd like to thank, first of all, our wonderful guests, Marcus Llewelyn. Thanks so much, Marcus, for coming.
Oh, thank you for having me, and thank you for letting us show off the conference.
And Sun Tzu, to you too. Thanks for sharing your passion for all the music of OSCC.
You're most welcome. Thank you.
Can you guys remind us once more of the dates of OSCC? When's it going to happen this year?
Oh, wow.
Absolutely. It's December 6th and 7th of this year. And they start both days at 7 o'clock grid time.
And we also do music starting on the 5th as well on Friday, starting at 12 p.m. SLT, running through 3.
Very, very good point. So, yeah, let's hope everybody can be there. And let me also thank my wonderful co-hosts, beginning with Tosha Tyran. Thank you, Tosha. Do you have any final thoughts?
Oh, I have not. I'm really overwhelmed, and I don't want to say any more. Just thank you, Marcus, and thank you, Sun. And thank you, the crew, of course.
And Petlove?
I just want to say, go watch all of Karima's films and like our channel and like Karima's channel. I think that's a really good idea. So,
it really is. And finally, James, do you have any last thoughts for us?
Yeah, do we have to do this again? No, I had a blast. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Thank you so much. This is. I feel really good about our program. So I think we made it happen.
It was just great. Really.
Yeah, and especially. Yes, and a special thanks to everybody who watches the show, who supports the show, who supports the OSCC, also, of course, the Hypergrid International Expo, which is the sub we're on right now, Inworld Review. And we really, really do appreciate all the support you've been giving us. And we look forward to seeing you. It'll be a couple of weeks, but keep tuning in. There'll always be a Hypergrid happenings every week. And until the next time we see you, keep coming in, world.
Rock on.